And we are back with director Dallas Jenkins from The Chosen. Um, what is it with COVID-19? What's it been like trying to be able to produce, shoot? Can you shoot and produce? How do you? I mean, do you guys live in a bubble? How do you guys do it in a way that is healthy for everybody?
Yeah, not easy. We're going to be filming in the first half of the season in Utah, which is where I'm going to be going in just a few days. And as soon as I get there, I'm going to be tested, and then I have to wait a day for the results. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be super strict. I mean, in my personal life over the last 6 months, I've been super loose about this. I haven't personally cared. My wife and kids, we haven't cared if we get it. We just felt like living our lives was more important than avoiding getting sick. But we've recognized, of course, that that's not true of everybody. So we've been extraordinarily respectful of other people. But for ourselves, we just haven't cared much. All that's going to change, of course, when I get to the set, because when we've got 30 days to film something and we got 75 cast and crew members, if one of them gets sick, we may have to shut down.
It can steamroll.
So yeah, well, and so we're going to be testing 3 times a week, and we have a lot of safety protocols on set. Now the good news is when you've tested everyone, once everyone's together on set and they're all negative, you don't have to be a freak about it. I mean,
Yeah.
in the NFL just last night,
Yep.
I was watching a game and they were tackling and all that stuff, and they're all healthy. But offset, I'm going to have to be one of those people who can't get within 10 feet of anybody, and I'm going to be constantly wearing my mask and be constantly avoiding contact because I am now responsible for 75, 100 other people, and there's a lot at stake here. So there are ways to do it, and we're going to be doing it. We have to spend $750,000 to make it happen, money we didn't have. But we're definitely it's worth making it happen because obviously a lot of people want to see season 2.
There's always been kind of criticisms of Christian media by the film industry at large, for a long time. And was that a perception that you wanted to change in this project?
I honestly, I mean this genuinely, when I'm writing and when I'm directing, I have gotten to the place in my life, and this is a spiritual discipline, one that changed for me 3 years ago when my movie bombed and I got that message about feeding the 5,000. I genuinely don't care about my reputation or about any agenda other than making the best possible show that I can. So the reputation of Christian film, my own personal reputation, it's all about now. It's about I just want to tell the best Jesus stories that I can, and if it's successful or fail or not, it's not up to me. And I don't believe the praise that I'm currently getting, and I don't believe or care about the criticism I'm currently getting. I'm just trying to make a great show. That said, we hear literally every day, and I'm not exaggerating, every day, multiple times from people saying, I was really skeptical before I watched this show. Christian entertainment, I don't like it. I heard about the show. I just assumed it wasn't any good. I finally was browbeaten into watching it, and I love it now, and I'm evangelist for the show. We hear that every day.
Well,
So on one hand, I suppose it's a nice result that people love this show in spite of perhaps some of the hurdles that they had in their mind about it going in. But it's really just not my concern to worry about. And hopefully the word will continue to spread about the show, and more people who are currently resistant to or prejudiced against faith-based entertainment will give the show a chance. And hopefully, like the vast majority of people who've seen it, that will all go away.
Well, and I think what I kind of liked about it was that it wasn't necessarily preachy. It is a Jesus story, but there is an entertainment aspect of it. But it doesn't feel, I hate to put it this way, but it doesn't feel like what your Sunday Bible school teacher is forcing you to watch. You
Right.
watch it because you want to watch it, because you're drawn into it, because and it just happens to be that that's the subject matter.
Well, when you watch episode 1, as you have, Jesus doesn't even show up for the first 45 minutes of the episode. And so some Christians who've seen it have been like, I'm a little confused. I thought this was a Jesus show. Where's Jesus? What Bible verse is this based on? I don't recognize this. Who are these characters? We make this like a regular show. And when I first watched Breaking Bad, or when I first watched This Is Us, or any other show, Downton Abbey, in the first episode, I'm learning like everyone else. Excuse me, and I'm figuring out who the characters are, and I'm getting to know them. And then interesting things happen or the main characters show up, and it's that much more interesting. And that's how we're approaching this. Now,
Well, I think
when
that's
Jesus
important
does
for
show up,
character
it is
development.
interesting and cool and it's emotional. And of course, we do get into some of the big famous Bible stories, but episode one, a lot of it is getting to know the characters.
And I know you said it doesn't matter a whole lot as far as when you're making a film, what everybody else thinks, but is there anything that you'd like to see from the faith-based film industry moving forward? Or does that just not matter to you? You're just in your own project, in your own kind of thing there.
Yeah, I mean, for as a viewer, I love good entertainment and I love good movies and good television shows. And the more that speak to my faith and my experience, the better. Currently, there aren't a lot. So as a viewer, I care about that. But I mean, I'm close friends with other faith-based filmmakers, and I root for them. And when they make a good film, I'm thrilled to watch it. But I don't feel responsible for it. I don't feel like we as a community are supposed to kind of work together to change the way faith-based films are interpreted. We're friends. We work together. We throw things past each other sometimes, but it's way too much work to just make your own project good, to worry about other people's projects. So we're willing to help each other out. But in terms of the reputation of the entire film industry or the faith-based film world, other than rooting for my friends and wanting more good entertainment for my family and more entertainment that uplifts as opposed to the opposite, I got too much to worry about with The Chosen, and I think the fans appreciate that I'm concentrating on that and not whether or not it fits into some larger puzzle.
Now, lastly, how can our audience best support The Chosen right now? I mean, where can they all watch the show? And you know, well, let's cover that first.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing is where to watch it, because it's not on the traditional streaming services or networks. And so, but it's much easier than you may think, because it's unprecedented technology. So literally, if you go to where you get apps on your phone, so you just pull out your phone, you Google Play or App Store, and you look up The Chosen, very easy to find. Download it, totally free. Now, you may think, I don't want to watch a show on my phone. Well, neither do I. It literally connects directly to your streaming device, Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick, Chromecast, HDMI cord, whatever it is, connects directly to your TV, and you can be watching all 8 episodes of season 1 totally free. You don't need to give your email address. There's no subscription. There's no fee, no nothing. You can literally hijack one of your streaming devices or even go to your friend's house and hijack theirs and watch it on their big screen TV and watch all 8 episodes totally free. So you can be watching within minutes. If you love it, then there's an opportunity to pay it forward or to buy the DVDs, or we've also got opportunity to buy things like my sweatshirt. And all of that stuff goes towards future episodes and seasons and also allowing us to continue to give it for free. But that's what it's been working so far. I mean, people have been really excited about it, and the more free and easy we've made it, the more income has come in. So I think we'll continue to do that.
What can we expect? And it's weird to say spoilers because so many people know, the Bible itself. But is there something that we can expect from season 2?
Yeah. So season 2 picks up where season 1 left off, obviously, which is Jesus and the disciples are headed towards Samaria. They're headed towards outside where they met and where they are kind of crewing up, as it were. And as of right now, there's only 7. So there's 5 more disciples to come. So season 2 explores the calling of those other disciples, at least some of them. And you'll see a couple of big miracles for sure, but we're going to really explore the interpersonal dynamics and what happens when these guys are facing increased fame. Jesus is now out in the public and people know who he is. So that's a good thing. A lot more people are coming to be healed, but there's also a lot of enemies that are coming. And so we explore what happens when the fame of Jesus starts to increase and how it impacts his followers.
And I guess I should have mentioned it earlier, but one of the things that stuck out to me, even in the character development, in the first few episodes, is that this really is a group of very different people, but yet they all, as apostles, because of Jesus, you have a group of people who otherwise you wouldn't. You got, the tax collector with Simon Peter. I mean, these are people that should be like this with each other, but instead it becomes something completely different.
Well, maybe over time it does, but
yes,
there's some initial of this, and that's some of what we explore in season 2. I mean, tax collectors were hated by the Jews because they were betrayers of their people. They worked for the Romans and collected taxes. And so Matthew's been called by the end of season 1. You see Matthew called to join these disciples, and the other disciples are like, "Wait a minute, not cool. What is he doing on the team?" And so we take the time to explore all of that.
Well, I really appreciate you being on the show. We look forward to seeing more episodes. Thank you so much for being on. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Jenkins.
Thank you. We'll do it again.
Take care.